Hi everyone, my name is Kylie, and for my final project, I chose to look at research and work that has been done on the ACE community's involvement in alternative communities, including polyamory and kink. When doing some preliminary research, it was clear that there was a lot of stigmatization of these communities, whether that be as sexually deviant or even taboo to society at large. And then with further investigation into these communities, it introduced ways in which asexual identified individuals take part in order to develop a sense of identity, family structure, and fulfill their sexual and social needs, both for them and their partners. First, polyamory provides a more flexible alternative to the monogamous societal framework, and many of the studies supported the idea that it allows for more flexible and non-exclusivity within relationships and allows a space where everyone in the relationship can have their needs met, both sexually and romantically. Another aspect of polyamorous relationships that was beneficial was the fulfillment that comes from your partner's needs being met, which then translates to a more strong relationship. Other sources I found describing the ACE community's involvement in polyamory outlines the importance of communication between partners in order to avoid jealousy and issues that might come along with non-monogamy, which ultimately strengthens the relationship with more open communication. As well as in a therapeutic lens, a study I found examining relationship therapy between mixed orientation couples supports this idea that open communication involving extra levels of collaborative talk, references to stages in the relationship, and uses of hypothetical situations are beneficial in order to figure out a system where everyone in the relationship is content and having their needs met. In addition to polyamory, I looked at asexual identified individuals' involvement in kink and BDSM practice. I found several qualitative studies interviewing members of the ACE community who take part in BDSM and kink, and they outline several ways in which these practices provide an outlet for connecting with your partner in a non-sexual and emotional way. Many of the studies emphasize the importance of communication and boundary setting within BDSM practice, which then allows participants to elicit emotions and feelings that they are comfortable with without the activity being explicitly sexual in nature. The pieces pointed out how the power dynamics characteristic of BDSM practice can provide participants with an avenue for self-discovery, as well as a way for them to build a foundation of trust with their partner. While researching these topics, one thing I noticed in almost all of the studies was the tendency to group all members of the ACE community into one identity when discussing their involvement in polyamory and kink communities. So I thought it would be interesting to differentiate between the spectrum of ACE identities in order to do some further investigation into how these identities may affect folks' involvement within kink and polyamory and how that would differentiate. So much like most of the current discourse, I would propose a qualitative survey or study using surveys and open-ended interview questions where participants could identify themselves within the ACE spectrum and kind of illustrate how their involvement within these alternative communities can differ depending on their identity in order to kind of build a more inclusive and multifaceted approach to how these communities benefit the ACE community and how people can use these communities as a source of identity building as well as relationship building. Thank you.